My friends, hello. All week we've been talking about trust and how important it is to our workplace and to our role as a leader. It's also critically important in our personal lives, if that wasn't already obvious to you. Trust is developed by demonstrating empathy or by giving another individual appreciation and backing it with an example, pointing to something specific that has actually taken place that you can share, and making sure that we are keeping our stress under control so that we don't allow our empathy to be overridden. When we have empathy and or appreciation, it develops trust. When we have trust, it leads directly to employee engagement. Forbes came out with an article earlier this week that says that trust will be 2021's North Star, that employees are craving and really demanding that they can trust their workplace, which currently they still do at about 70%. They still trust their workplace quite strongly. So it's our opportunity as leaders to leverage what is needed and desired with the workers and start to do it. It would be wonderful if employee engagement were as easy as, snapping your fingers, right? Like you could maybe, go grab the Infinity Gauntlet and snap it. And then you could have the employee engagement that you need and want. I've been tracking this topic for a long time. Since about 2007 is when I started paying attention to it, and it became a big part of the work that I do since about 2010. So I've been paying attention to this for quite some time. Employee engagement didn't really move very far in a positive direction for quite some time. Picture this. This is a good way to envision what employee engagement currently looks like in 2020. Okay? Picture a rowboat with 6 people who are sitting in the middle of the boat. Sitting there, just chilling, hanging out, having a good time, looking at the scenery, not doing anything, just hanging out. You got 3 people in the front of the boat who are pulling the weight of everyone to move the boat, right? You got 3 people up front doing that. And then you got one jerk sitting on the back with a power drill, drilling a hole into the bottom of the boat, trying to sink it on purpose, like an idiot. That is employee engagement in 2020. About a third of your workforce is actively engaged. 30%, 31% is actively engaged. About 60% are just present. They're not considered actively engaged. They're not actively disengaged. They're just kind of there. You got about 13% of your workforce that are actively disengaged and truly trying to screw things up. Good news is that number has gone down. Over the last 5 years, it used to be that it was closer to 20%, and it averaged that for a long time. For this past 20-year period that engagement's been studied since the year 2000, on average, it was around 20% of your workplace was actively disengaged. That number is down right now to about 13%, and this is new data as of about the middle of 2020, so it was already becoming influenced by COVID. So the data is pretty good. A third of people are engaged. More than half of them are just kind of hanging out, and you got about 13% of people who are just screwing around making bad choices. So what do you do as a leader? What do you do to develop employee engagement? Well, there's this Forbes article, as I referenced, and I would definitely recommend that you read it. It's a wonderful article about employee engagement, just came out this week. There's some really incredible things there that are worth reading. It talks about what happens in a high trust environment and how productivity and energy go up, and sick days and absenteeism is going down. So it's a valuable article. It has a lot of good information in it. The other thing that you can do is what we've been talking about all week. Be really, really thoughtful about how you behave. COVID has stressed out everyone. Realistically, reasonably, sometimes unreasonably, COVID has caused a lot of stress. To the best of your ability, control that stress in your own life. That will allow you to continue to be an empathetic person, which just means being present with them, being in the moment, being real, being a human. Don't be the boss. Don't be Mr. Super Cool Person or Miss Super Cool Person. Be a human for a minute, and that will demonstrate empathy. You can give appreciation, as we talked about, being real, being backed with an example of something that they've done well. Not just like I give you the example of how I screwed it up by saying good job tonight, good job tonight, good job tonight, but instead you specifically say, hey, what you did was really incredible because you did this, and I appreciate it, and we need more like that. Thank you. When you do these things over a period of time, it will develop trust, and you'll have this high trust environment, as the Forbes article talks about, over time. You have the ability to influence and lead your team, certainly, without a doubt. you also have the ability to influence the teams around you and the greater team of your entire organization. When you take the first step and you act like a leader, whether you're a low-level manager right now or the CEO, your actions will permeate into all the other leaders within the team. And over time, their actions will permeate into all of their teams. And over time, your employee engagement will go up. You have the power to do this. This is not rocket science. This is not magic. You can do this. It takes two things: empathy and appreciation. When you do that, you'll develop trust. When you have trust, you'll have higher employee engagement and you'll have less people trying to drill holes in your boat.